Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video, and today, you guys can tell this is a really different video. So on Twitter, go ahead and follow me in the description below. The link to it is in the description, as I said before. Go ahead and follow me there. I post like channel updates and more stuff on there, and I discuss sports, a ton of stuff on Twitter, so go ahead and follow me. I asked for your hot takes, and well, a lot of you guys responded since I really couldn't think of any NBA video ideas, and I thought this would be a very fun, idea. So of course, you guys know what to do. Like the video if you enjoyed, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new, and enjoy the content on here so you don't miss out on any new videos. Plus, we're on the road to 500 subscribers, and once we hit our goal, I will do a reaction to my first 2 videos ever, plus a Q&A. But with that being said, let's just get this video started. First take, Magic Johnson is greater than Kareem all time. Well, I mean, I got Kareem over Magic, but I think you can certainly make the case for Magic being over Kareem, because Magic, obviously, arguably the most versatile player in NBA history, plus the guy was a bigger leader, and Kareem, I have to admit, he did depend on Magic for a lot of his rings, so I do think you can make the case, but in my opinion, I think Kareem, mainly because he's just one of the most complete and most dominant players in NBA history. So honestly, I have Kareem, but you definitely can make the case for Magic Johnson. Zach LaVine will be an MVP candidate next season. Well, I mean, Zach LaVine, I have to admit, has progressed a lot this year, and next year, I do expect him to take, I wouldn't be surprised if he took another game and became, this, all NBA level, shooting guard, and, established himself as, one of the top 5 shooting guard. I would not be surprised if he was, I would not be surprised if he took another massive leap. MVP MVP candidate. He could definitely become, who knows if he is a borderline MVP, level player in the future, but he can be a candidate, but it all just depends on how the Chicago Bulls do. But he definitely can be an MVP candidate level player. So really, I guess my thought on this is that I don't know if he will be an MVP candidate next year, mainly because I don't know how good the Chicago Bulls will be next year, but I would not be surprised if Zach LaVine took his game to another level, to the point where he's a borderline MVP candidate level player, if that makes sense. Jaylen Brown is a top 3 shooting guard this season. Well, you can certainly make the case. James Harden, if you consider him a point guard, well, yeah, sure, go ahead. But, we got James Harden is definitely better than Jaylen Brown. I definitely would say that. Bradley Beal, you can definitely make the case for Jaylen Brown being a top 3 shooting guard, but yeah, he is for sure top 5. If he's not in your top 5, I don't know what to say, but Jaylen Brown, he has been amazing this year. I don't know about top 3, but you can certainly make the case, for him being top 3. Kobe won't top 10, so I think you're trying to say Kobe Bryant is not top 10, and his list, for context, is number 12 KD, 11 Kobe Bryant, 10 Hakeem Olajuwon, 9 Tim Duncan, 8 Bill Russell, 7 Shaquille O'Neal, 6 Larry Bird, 5 Wilt Chamberlain, 4 Magic, 3 Kareem, 2 MJ, and 1 LeGoat. Okay, to be honest, no offense here, but I really do disagree with this take. I do not think Kobe Bryant is top 5 all time. He is number 6, personally, to me, he's number 6 all time. But, top 10 I think is a bit of a stretch. If you're saying top 5, I would agree here, but no offense, I do think he is top 10, and I do disagree with this take. Nikola Jokic will win MVP, Jamal Murray will be a top 5 point guard by next season, and the Nuggets will be a 3 seed with LeBron James and Anthony Davis out, and the Suns will fall. Well, Nikola Jokic being MVP, so if you break this down, Nikola Jokic winning MVP, that is definitely possible. Honestly, I could definitely see that happening, especially, with injuries kind of playing a part in it, especially if the Nuggets do end up rising. Jamal Murray, will he be a top 5 point guard next season? To be honest, obviously, I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't know if he will reach that, because, this year, I have to admit, no offense, I was expecting a little bit more. I have to admit he has kind of started to pick things up, but I don't know if he will be a top 5 point guard next season, but it is possible. The Nuggets will be a 3 seed. Now, I do expect the Lakers to probably, I think they can definitely remain in the playoffs, but I don't think they will be a top 3 with LeBron James and Anthony Davis out. The Suns falling, that is obviously a possibility, but the Nuggets being a top 3 seed or like a 3 seed, I do think that is possible, but personally I have the Nuggets being the 4 seed, but a top 3 seed is not, out of the question. Magic would be the GOAT if he did not get HIV. I mean, this is possible. It's possible for him to be the GOAT. I mean, how many championships would he have won? If he were to not get HIV. I think it's possible he could be. I definitely think he probably would make, if he didn't get HIV, I do think he could make a massive case for being above Kareem, but I do not think Magic I don't know if he would be the GOAT if he did not get HIV, but he definitely could be making a case for being top 3 all time. The Utah Jazz will not make the finals. I mean, honestly, that's not a crazy hot take. It's definitely possible that the Utah Jazz do not make the finals. I mean, so to be honest, I guess that's not too hot of a take, but honest, I do kind of agree. The Jazz won't make the finals. It's definitely possible that they do, but I mean, hey, who knows what happens? We'll just have to see. So honestly, I agree the Jazz won't make the finals. The WNBA should lower the rim only a ½ inch. 9.5 is low enough for dunks, but tall enough for them to still be impressive. I mean, I don't know the whole measurements of the rims and all, but I do agree though WNBA should probably lower the rims if they do want to start getting the girls to start dunking more, because I see a lot of people saying, oh, the WNBA players can't dunk, and I do think if you gave them a rim that was tall enough for them to dunk but also short enough for them to at least be able to reach it, then yeah, I do think they definitely can dunk. But I don't know the exact measurements, but I do agree they should definitely lower the rim so that they have the ability to dunk. Hakeem Olajuwon or Charles Barkley would be considered the GOAT if they were in the same spot as MJ. So basically he's saying that Hakeem or Charles Barkley would be, if they were to put on the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls, they would be considered the GOAT. And I mean, maybe I think they definitely could, they have much stronger GOAT cases, that's for sure, because I do think they definitely would have won at least a couple of at least 1 or 2 championships if you were to replace one of those guys with if you were to replace Michael Jordan with one of those guys. But I do not think that they would, be the consensus GOAT by most people if you did replace him. Maybe Charles Barkley, maybe Hakeem Olajuwon, I don't know about Charles Barkley, but yeah, they would definitely have a lot stronger GOAT cases. But, kind of comparing it, here's what I'm trying to say. If Hakeem Olajuwon was put in Michael Jordan's situation, I do think he would have a stronger case. But when you look at Michael Jordan, well, to most people, he is considered the GOAT, kind of consensusly. I don't think it would be the same for Hakeem Olajuwon. But yeah, if you were to replace Jordan with Hakeem or Barkley, I do think that they definitely could have much stronger GOAT cases. Wilt Chamberlain is overhated on Twitter. Now, personally, I haven't seen a ton of Wilt Chamberlain slander, but I do think it is if you ask me, I do see a lot of people hating on Wilt, and to be honest, I do feel there are some people who overrate Wilt Chamberlain, but my opinion is that Wilt Chamberlain is not top 5 all time like some people say, because while the guy is crazy dominant, my big issue with him is that the guy lacks accolades championships and all. And yeah, playing in the era with the Bill Russell Celtics doesn't make it easy, but Wilt did have a not the greatest mindset when it came to winning. So yeah, I do agree with sometimes Wilt can be overhated, but yeah, I do see some people overrate him. But yeah, I do think Wilt Chamberlain is definitely he definitely is borderline top 10. He's out of my top 10 personally, but in my opinion, he's 11. He's in that maybe 8 to 11 range. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, I do agree there are some people that hate him, but there are also quite a bit of people who I do feel kind of overrate him. Jamal Murray is greater than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Well, I mean, it's close. I guess you could go either way with this one. Personally, I got Shai a little bit above Jamal Murray, but it's pretty close between the two. And now my guy Ark on Twitter, he's a big Nuggets fan like me, so maybe there is some bias, no offense. But hey, I mean, this could go either way. The WNBA is an underrated sport and needs more cross-gender investment in order to bring the money the NBA gets. Now, I don't watch the WNBA. Now, maybe one day I will watch the WNBA, but personally, I do not watch the WNBA, so the fact that you're saying it's underrated, I guess that's entitled. I'm gonna let you have your own opinion, obviously. I'm cool with that. They need more cross-gender investment in order to bring, the money the NBA gets. I do agree the NBA should promote it. I don't know about mixing them, since if you were to put a male in, put a rule. I do feel like if you were to put a male in the WNBA, the competition wouldn't be, it would be kind of unbalanced. So I do think that they should have two separate leagues, but I do feel like the NBA should do its best to try and start promoting the WNBA so that the WNBA can grow as a brand and the players can get larger salaries. So I do agree that the NBA should promote the WNBA and try to get it to grow as much as possible. Jamal Murray is a highly underrated player from what I have seen about people talk about him. I do have to admit he kind of has been underrated. The guy has improved quite a bit a good bit defensively, to the point where he's pretty good defensively. Plus, I have to admit the guy, the guy definitely has improved from the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, he was kind of sus, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I do have to admit he has started to pick things up, and I do have to admit a lot of people do kind of speak a little bit jokingly about him, call him bubble boy and all that, because the guy isn't averaging 30 on very good efficiency. And let me make this clear, I did not expect him to average that, but I do have to admit Jamal Murray has gotten a little bit underrated simply because of the jokes and the memes and all. Ben Simmons will win Defensive Player of the Year. To be honest, he definitely has a really strong case for Defensive Player of the Year, because first off, the guy is one of the most versatile and defensive players in the NBA. He can guard every position. He can essentially guard all 5 positions on the court. Some centers he will struggle against, but yeah, he can definitely win Defensive Player of the Year. He's very versatile defensively and is just really, good defensively. How else do I put it? Buddy Hield 3-point shooting greater than Stephen Curry 3-point shooting. No offense, but no. I disagree with this one, no offense. I really do disagree with this one. Buddy Hield's a really good 3-point shooter, but Stephen Curry is the best 3-point shooter of all time, and just the best shooter of all time in general. My man Abuse Pig, who has been a massive supporter of this channel, yeah, I have to thank him a lot. Kyrie Irving is greater than Damian Lillard. It is definitely close, but I got Damian Lillard simply put because both of them, they're both really good offensively. They're nothing positive, nothing negative defensively, really. But I would say, to be honest, I'm gonna give this the slight edge to Damian Lillard simply because he's just better than Kyrie Irving when it comes I feel like he's a little bit better at scoring and shooting. Plus the guy is a better playmaker. But yeah, it is close, but I got Damian Lillard better, over Kyrie Irving. The Cavs are in a better place than most people think and can contend within the next 1 to 2 years. Now, I do think the Cavaliers do have some pretty, decent talent with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland plus Isaac Okoro. He's been I think he's good defensively. He does need to improve his offensive game, and all that, but they do have some pretty nice young talent. Whether they contend in 1 to 2 years, I'm a little bit I'm kind of I don't know about that. But I do think it is very possible that the Cavaliers can be contenders, soon enough. So yeah, they definitely are in an alright position, but they definitely do, I don't know if they will contend in the next 1 to 2 years. Nikola Jokic is greater than Joel Embiid. I think you can go either way on this one. Both have been flat out amazing. Before the season started, I would have confidently, definitively said Nikola Jokic. But this year, with how both of them have been playing, both of them have been playing at MVP levels, top 3 MVP candidates. And to be honest, I have Jokic slightly over Embiid. Now, maybe that's probably because of some of my Denver Nuggets bias. But hey, you could go either way on this one. Zion will end up becoming one of the best players in NBA history. I mean, to be honest, he definitely can. I mean, if he is a multiple, like at least like one-time champion, I definitely think he can. And he, in my opinion, could be one of the most dominant players, you know, ever. I mean, the guy has been kind of underrated simply because the media just doesn't, you know, like kind of like rave about him and it like isn't like going on dates with him every day. But yeah, Zion Williamson, in my opinion, can easily be one of the best players in NBA history. Kind of like Charles Barkley in a way. Like he's a much faster big than most because he is smaller, but also like one of the most dominant. He can score the ball well. Plus, I do think the guy can be one of the best rebounders of all time. But yeah, Zion can definitely be one of the best players in NBA history. Jason Tatum is the most clutch player in the NBA. Now, I don't memorize clutch stats and all, but I don't know if I'd call him the most clutch, but hey, I'd say he's decently clutch. Giannis is top 5 all time. Alright, don't get me wrong. I like Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I mean, if you're joking, hey, I'll always appreciate a nice joke, but I don't know if he's not top 5 all time. If we're talking Milwaukee Bucks of all time, he definitely can be top 5, but top 5 in general, no, he is not top 5 all time. Lonzo will once be an all-star, so basically saying Lonzo Ball will be an all-star at some point, and to be honest, I do think it's been possible. I mean, Lonzo Ball started off the season pretty bad, but he has, you know, picked things up, and he has been pretty good for the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, there's a chance that he is traded soon and all, but yeah, Lonzo Ball, I mean, the guy, he definitely can be a one-time all-star. I do think it's possible. I mean, who knows? We'll just have to see. The Nuggets will win the championship this year when all the players are healthy and they play. I mean, I do think it's possible for the Nuggets to win the championship because right now the Lakers are in shambles because, I mean, LeBron James is out indefinitely for now. Anthony Davis, I mean, apparently he's going to be out for like a few more weeks. So, of course, injuries are basically screwing up the Lakers. The Clippers, the Nuggets, I do think the Nuggets can definitely, you know, beat them. The Suns and the Jazz, I do think the Nuggets, it's possible for them to get out of the West if the Lakers were to get eliminated early due to injuries. I mean, they can beat the Jazz, they can beat the Clippers, and they can beat the Suns. Now, if they were to go up against a team like the Brooklyn Nets, I would not be confident saying that the Nuggets would win that series simply because the Brooklyn Nets are just stupid good on offense, and I don't know if the Nuggets have enough defense to, you know, just cover all those guys. But yeah, the Nuggets can win the championship. I mean, 76ers we also got to count for, and the Bucks, I do think it's possible to beat them. But yeah, the Nuggets can win the championship. Shaq is top 5 all time. You can certainly make the case that Shaq is top 5 all time. Personally, I have Shaq at, like, let's say, my list is like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, then it's Kobe Bryant, then Bill Russell, and then Tim Duncan, then Shaq. So I have Shaq at, no, not Shaq, Hakeem, and then Shaq. I have Shaq at 10. You can make the case, you can kind of make the case since the guy is just one of the most dominant players of all time, but I wouldn't say he's top 5 all time. DeAndre Ayton is a top 10 center in the NBA right now and will be a top 5 center in his prime. I do think he is still top 10 center, even though I have to admit he has been disappointing, you know, this past season. I thought he would take a really big, you know, leap in his game, but unfortunately that has not been the case so far. And will he be a top 5 center in his prime? I easily think it's possible, but I would like to see DeAndre Ayton be more aggressive. Plus, I want to see the Suns, you know, better utilize him. So yeah, it certainly is possible that he is a top 5 center in his prime. And is he a top 10 center right now in the NBA? I definitely think so. Kyrie Irving is greater than Luka Doncic. Now, but I will admit the gap is not extremely, it's not very big. But I would I'd say Luka Doncic just is like a little bit above Kyrie Irving. Ja is the most overrated young star in the NBA. I mean, to be honest, I have to admit there are some people who do overrate Ja Morant. Like, I'm seeing people saying he's better than Trae Young and De'Aaron Fox. Right now, no, he is not better than those guys. I do think Ja Morant has top 10 potential, and I mean, some guys are acting like he can be like godly, like that's like his potential. I do think Ja Morant is a future top 10 player, but yeah, I do have to admit the guy is kind of overrated. He is not better than Trae Young or De'Aaron Fox. You know, Ja Morant's cool and all, but I have to admit he is kind of overrated. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is overrated. I mean, I mean, there are some, I mean, he is sort of overrated in my opinion. Like, I do think the guy is great, but I have to admit, a lot of his championships did come because, you know, he did kind of depend on Magic Johnson. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I do agree he's a little bit overrated, but he is not crazy overrated. Jamal Murray greater than Trae Young. Yeah, I'm a Nuggets fan, and don't get me wrong, I like Jamal Murray, but no, he's not better than Trae Young. The Blazers will not go that far in the playoffs with Terry Stotts as their coach. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with this one. Terry Stotts is not an amazing coach, and I'm surprised they haven't fired him at this point, because, I mean, the guy's been the coach for, what, 8-9 seasons? I'm not totally sure. He's been the coach for a long time, and to be honest, I'm surprised they haven't fired him. But yeah, Terry Stotts is not an amazing coach, and I don't know if the Blazers will go crazy far in the playoffs. It's definitely possible, but who knows? The 76ers will not make the finals with all this hype they have right now. The 76ers, I do think, can make the finals, but will they make it? I'm not totally sure. The Bucks, who knows about them? They're always very suspect since Mike Budenholzer just refuses to make adjustments in the playoffs. The Nets, I mean, they're just stupid good on offense. They don't have an answer for Joel Embiid, especially if he's healthy. But I mean, to be honest, I do think it's possible that the 76ers make the finals, but I don't know if they do. I mean, especially with Joel Embiid's injury. Like, who knows how long he's out for, but it's definitely possible the 76ers make the finals. Jamal Murray is greater than De'Aaron Fox. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, okay, I love Jamal Murray, as I said before, I am a Nuggets fan, and yeah, I like Jamal Murray, but no, he is not better than De'Aaron Fox, okay? De'Aaron Fox, I mean, he's just been flat out amazing this year, and I love De'Aaron Fox, and as much as I love Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox is better. CP3 is a top 5 point guard of all time and has the potential to pass Jerry West and Oscar Robertson. Now, as for whether he's a top 5 point guard, I mean, let's see, Magic, Curry, Oscar Robertson, I mean, you got, like, Jerry West. I mean, you can easily make the case for him being a top 5 point guard of all time. I definitely think you can make the case for him being top 5 of all time. Now, as for whether he can pass Jerry West or Oscar Robertson, and Oscar Robertson, I think he can pass Jerry West. However, I think the guy has to win a championship. Like, if he wins a championship, he easily can. I definitely think he can pass Jerry West. Now, Oscar Robertson, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more doubtful about this one, but it is possible for him. Like, if he wins like a couple of championships, I easily think he can pass Oscar Robertson. Luke says Rahul is the best YouTuber of all time. Well, that's not a hot take. So this is a hot takes video only. But yeah, first off, thank you. But yeah, not a hot take. But I absolutely agree. Rahul is the best YouTuber of all time. Despite being injured for 2 years straight, Klay Thompson will come back better than before. Now, as for whether he comes back better than before, I mean, it's possible that he does. As for how good he is when he comes back, honestly, I think Klay Thompson will be a pretty good player when he comes back, because I mean, the thing is, first off, Klay Thompson isn't, you know, he's not too dependent on his athleticism. Now, maybe this could hamper speed a little bit, but I have to admit, these Achilles, was it an Achilles? Yeah, Achilles injury, I'm pretty sure. These injuries, like, I have to admit, like, John Wall is kind of starting to prove that these injuries are starting to become, like, a lot less severe because of, like, the modern day, like, sports medicine we kind of have and all. But yeah, it definitely is possible. I mean, you could definitely say that Klay Thompson is going to come back better than before. The Jazz will beat the Lakers in the playoffs. So hypothetically, if we said the Jazz met up with the Lakers in the playoffs, I definitely think the Jazz could beat Now, I think that it's possible that they can beat the Lakers, especially if LeBron James or Anthony Davis is hurt. If either one of them is hurt, then I do think the Jazz will make it past Los Angeles. But now, let's say both LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, well, then I'd probably take the Lakers. But yeah, I mean, assuming LeBron James or Anthony Davis isn't healthy for that series, I would definitely take the Utah Jazz. The final take of the video. Yeah, this video has been kind of long. Thank you guys for all the hot takes you gave me. If De'Aaron Fox continues to improve at this rate he is currently, with no injuries, he has MVP Rose potential. To be honest, I think De'Aaron Fox he has pretty high potential, you know. As for whether he's an MVP candidate, I mean, of course, like I said with Zach LaVine earlier, I think he could have reached the, you know, the skill level or like the talent level of an MVP candidate. It's all just dependent on how the Kings are. Now, as for whether he can reach prime MVP roles, I don't think he will reach that level, but I do think he can easily be a top, you know, 5 to maybe even 3 point guard in the league if he continues to, you know, improve at this rate. But if he was to improve at like very high rates, he could definitely, you know, reach MVP roles potential. But I guess I kind of agree with this take. But with that being said, that will end today's video. Yeah, it was a long one. Thank you guys a lot for, you know, giving me all these, you know, hot takes. I'm probably going to do more videos like this in the future. But of course, you guys know what to do. Like the video if you enjoyed, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new and enjoy the videos on here so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. And once we hit that goal, I will do a reaction to my first 2 videos ever. But with that being said, I'm out, you guys.